Mecca news, Mecca news, Mecca news. Mob James tell Keffe D's lawyer, you sure you want me to answer that? Because if I answer that, that's going to be so incriminating and bury your client. Or you sure that's what you want me to answer? I'm going to break that down from a street perspective so you understand how gangster it is. I don't care who don't like, dislike, or whatever, but right now, Mob James must get a round of applause all the way from New York City. All right, relax, y'all, relax. Yo, check it out. You don't want to miss this. I'm going to break this down. A lot of people say that Mob James is a rat bastard, flip-flop, wearing public troll and everything, but nah, from what I seen right there, he gets a 100% standing ovation, and I want to see what anyone else got to say about that, 'cause I can stand on what I say, and I'm going to break that down in this video, so don't miss it. Let's get this party started. All right? You know what it is. When you hear the bell, that means the jewel is getting ready to come up. Right now, we're going to get right into it. This is Mob James testifying. I got to give him 100% score on this one here. All right, now check it out. We're going to play it. This is just so crazy. This is dude's lawyer. This is Keffe D's lawyer asking him, you know, certain questions that he feel if he answer be incriminating. So y'all give me in your comments. Let me hear what you got to say, but I'm going to break it down from a gangster point of view.
In terms of your knowledge of what happened on that night, fair to say you weren't present when the shots had rung out?
No, I wasn't there.
Okay. And
right there, the question should have ended because the prosecutor didn't say nothing out of line that could hurt his defense. So I don't understand why he's continuing to talk. But that's where it should have ended. All this here is showing to anyone looking, you know, that this got to be a sabotage. You know what I mean? This is what you call a real live, you know, railroad lynching, whatever you want to call it. Well, alleged lynching, alleged, you know, railroading, you know, because this don't look good. But let's play this out. Listen to the questions that Keffe D's lawyer is asking, and the prosecutor didn't do nothing but just have him explain what it was like in the gang life, you know? Let me see, I might be able to pull that up. Let's see if this one is it. Yeah, this is it right here. Listen,
that
Mr. Prosecutor.
Tupac had knocked you out one time.
I'd have killed him.
That would have been your response if that happened.
Yeah, I'm being honest with you and everybody else. I said it on my podcast show. Him, Suge, and my brother. I'd have shot all three of them if he touched me.
Why?
Right there is all the prosecutor needed him to say to let the jury see how violent this era and these people were, and why they need to put aside their personal emotions and know that they're dealing with someone with an animalistic mentality, because you're talking about right now in 2026 killing somebody because they punch you in the face. But he's letting you know that was him then. And he also let it know that he was a grandfather. He's going to break all that down, and I respect the way this whole thing played out. I think he was an excellent witness because, let's take a ride. Let's take a ride. When I was going to trial, Ron, and I'm even going to say names because they definitely get a round of applause. We had Big Chuck and his brother, Franz, Oscar. You know, Big Chuck and Franz. Y'all know who he is if y'all from Brooklyn, Haitian brothers. But they went to trial with me. When they went to trial with me, they blew trial and got the death penalty, right? They beat the death penalty, but that's what they went to trial for, the death penalty. Then now here comes my trial. And could you believe these men came to my trial to tell how people jumped on their trial that was lying and just being rat bastards, being led by the government, the same way Keffe D is saying he's being led by the government. But these are the same ones that they used them in the trials to take people's freedom. And I had brothers get on the stand to testify to that. That's not ratting. So those of y'all that want to say, oh, anytime you take the stand, it's ratting. No, I just told you a man took the stand for me, two men, two brothers, Franz and Gene Oscar. AKA Big Chuck. Y'all from the feds know Chuck. Put in the comments so they know I'm telling the real facts. But they took the stand. And Yellow, was Jamaican. Yellow took the stand also to show how the rats jump on the case, and he just blew a trial and got life in jail. Both of them already got life, and they come in there trying to save me from getting life. Now, how would you feel if men did that for you? Would you feel indebted to them, or would you want to be, or would you just say, man, they did what they're supposed to do? That's the code. We look out for each other. Put that in the comments. But that's what went down with that, right? But this is the prosecutor painting the picture right now, and all he needed him to say was how vicious they were, that they would shoot someone in the face, but punch him in the face, call him a punk. Listen to this right here. This is crazy.
That's how I was living.
Why is that?
That's what I was back then.
And so, is it fair to say that your reputation and your standing in the neighborhood would require you to do something if you're going to get punked by somebody like Tupac?
You don't have a choice, or you can't be there.
I'm sorry.
See, that's all he needed to say, that they're going to fight over someone punking you. Could you imagine in today's society someone fighting over someone punking them at the office place? We see it all the time in Walmart when they be fighting, but you know what I'm saying. The civilized world, when you go into work, if somebody punk you, could you see you must punch them in the face, even if it's at the workplace? Put it in the comments.
I'm sorry. We're just a side talking. No, that's my fault. I asked, would that being in the life that you were, if somebody like Tupac is punking you, like by punching you in the face or something like that, you would have to retaliate, or you would lose your place in the neighborhood.
See, all he's doing is showing the jury just how the inner functions of, Compton ran then, and that's where people would run on. He's telling what's happening in Compton, so he's ratting. No, I'm seeing everything that's happening and hearing it right here on YouTube. So it's all already public information. So he's not doing no ratting here in my stance, because this is stuff that all of y'all already done told the people. It ain't nothing that ain't known, and that's what it is. But that's where I'm at with it, because you're going to have people trying to go both ways. What he did in this situation right here was not ratting. I'm going to have to jump out there and stamp on that was not ratting. We know now, let's get it right. Let's get it right. We're going to put two sides to it. Under no circumstances should you take the stand, but you can take the stand to help a person like Chuck and France did with me. You understand? And right now, even though the government is the one that brought him in, he's saying out his own mouth, and you're going to hear it right here, where he's saying, man, I don't want to put him in jail. How could you call a man a rat that says straight up, I don't want to put a man in jail? And he's telling them, I don't want to answer these questions because it will put, let me play the rest of this, man. This is crazy.
You would have to go back home and fight everybody that called you a punk. You would have to go. There's some rules that you roll with, and some rules you just got to handle. Certain things need to be dealt with, adjusted, living that life. And when I was living that life, it wasn't no ifs, ands, or buts. It wasn't no, oh, you get a pass. No, I would have shot him.
Right there. That's all they needed him to say in front of the jury, is he would have shot him. Because they just using him to narrate the story of how this lifestyle, rolled along, moved, functioned, thought, and that's all they using him for. Then the defense lawyer's getting ready to question him and try and get him to speak on the mechanics, when you're going to hear the prosecution even say, I'm not going to ask you about the mechanics of the case. Listen to this right here. This is so crazy. This is the best commentary you're going to get. Yo, remember, if you like this right here, make sure you put an emoji type of comment or something, because, like I said, I got this little joint right here. This don't mean nothing. So I need y'all to put the little comments, the little emojis, and keep it moving. But let's get back to this. All right, we riding.
To be honest.
So then you had mentioned, I'm not going to ask you to go into any specifics, but you had mentioned that after what happened here in Las Vegas, there were issues between
You saw he said, I'm not going to ask any specifics. This is the government say he's not going to be specific. Then why is Keffe D's lawyer asking for specific details on what went down after Tupac got unalive? Now, I'm going to play it out. We're going to get to that. Just relax, sit back, and let me do my commentary.
Between the neighborhoods. How long did that last for? Was it like, all right, one day we're good, everything's done, or did it last for longer than that?
No, it was tension in the air for quite a long time until I guess both sides, and he might agree, just said, let that shit go. Because
Right there. You see what I'm saying? And look how Keffe D looking. Keffe D is putting all his trust into the lawyer. And in my opinion only, that's not a good look because the lawyer looked like he sabotaged it. I'm gonna break it down the way I see it. This is my opinion. Not down on the lawyer, just my opinion.
it really wasn't our beef. This was between Suge Knight and Keffe D. And people put themselves in situations like myself. I'm guilty as everybody else.
How much more gangster can you get? He said, I'm guilty as everybody else. He not gaining nothing from this. He's just up there telling what happened because y'all already telling it on YouTube. Let's just get right to what it is. Clubhouse, everywhere else, they already telling it. So, you know, I knew about this when I was in prison before I even saw YouTube for the first time. When people just telling me on the phone what they seen from the outside and people inside that got phones. You know, but I mean, come on, you know, he gangster. I'm gonna show you why. Hold up.
Like myself, I put myself in a situation to protect something and somebody that didn't have nothing to do with me. I did it for a paycheck. I did it on some just because. I'm older now. I get it. But we did things for all the wrong reasons at that time, in them days.
And now, how much more gangster can you get? They pulling him in to go back to his 30-year-old self when he's his 61-year-old grandfather self now, when back then he didn't even have kids that big. So the kids just having kids. Just picture what is going on here. And he's saying that, yo, y'all asking me to go back. That's crazy. You know? Yo, this is deep so you understand. This is what time do. But imagine that whole time when he was out there growing to become the grandfather, I was in prison working out, trying to stay preserved for when I come out, to still have veins in my neck, you know?
Court's indulgence.
And that's that with the questioning on that. But that's where we at. But then now we're going to ride, right? Because we like to ride. We're going to ride into Keffe D's lawyer questioning, you know.
And
This is
your
crazy.
testimony is that you had heard from other people initially that, hey, Tupac had been shot.
Yes.
And you had thought maybe other people were maybe relieved, thinking like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. He's gonna be okay.
That's what came back to 662. People that went to the scene, and everybody said Tupac was talking. So everybody came back to the club saying he's gonna be all right. So people just went back to, me.
Right. Now, in terms of the that night, you go back to Compton. You live in Compton.
Yes.
You still live in Compton?
No.
At the time you live in Compton, you go back to Compton, and you tell us that there was a lot of tension. Can you describe that for us when you went back in terms of what kind of tension we're talking about?
You sure you want me to answer that?
Now, here go the gangster
Is it
coming
going to
out.
be graphic?
No, I ain't gonna. I got to raise the word in it, but you asking me a question. I don't. And what I explained to them, I don't want to send him to prison,
Sure.
even though we don't like each other.
Sure.
I don't want to send you to prison. So that's why I'm here where I'm at and the way I am, because I changed my life.
You heard what he said? He said he changed his life and he didn't want to send his enemy to prison. How much more gangster could you get? They forced him to come out of retirement to live back to when he's 29 years old to a jury so they could understand how the mind functioned then, that a man would shoot a man in the face just for punching him in the face. Do you hear the testimony that's being said, or y'all just bypassing it because this is YouTube and you're used to hearing the graphics and all, and you think, yeah, I know. Imagine really living in those times, and that's what he's telling them, and that's what you could see, the strain on his face to even go back there. To y'all, it's just words coming out of his mouth. Right now, it's trauma being released from out of his mouth. That's what I want you to really understand. I want to do a commentary after this. I don't even know if I'm going to do the commentary because this might be long. After playing this, I might do the commentaries the next video. But I want y'all to really understand what he's saying. He's telling the lawyer, like, yo, you're getting ready to ask me questions that's going to incriminate this man and get him locked up if I answer it. I know this is a sane man, so I don't want to answer this. So why you ask me this? Are you sure you want to ask me this? Please don't ask me this. He even looked at Keffe D and said, damn, say something. You in there like a puppet. You're not doing nothing. You just sitting there leaving it in his hands, and you can see that this is alleged railroading going on, an alleged lynching. This man couldn't have been more gangster than that. Man, I laid back and looked at that yesterday. I was so proud of this right here testimony. I don't know nothing about his prior life, nothing. But as far as him getting on the stand, I'm telling you, can't nobody rate him that he did anything wrong in this video here. You understand what I'm saying? Everything that you're saying is incriminating that he's saying, they already knew. I watched it from the beginning. He ain't say no names, no nothing. Come on, the man kept it gangster. Whatever personal issue you got with him, I don't know him from a can of paint. You know what I mean? But that's what it is. Let's go.
I'm raising my grandkids, teaching them never to be like their papa. And here I am explaining to people what I used to be, and I'm not proud of that.
That man said he's a pop now and he have to explain to his grandchildren how we used to be. Could you imagine the emotional toll on that? The toll on that. It's like it's trolling you. Man, this is deep. You know, I'm his age. He looks older than me, and it's not to disrespect him, but that's how freedom beat him down. And this is how jail preserved me. That's freedom right there you're looking at. When a man does nothing right with eating or anything else. And drinking, smoking, doing whatever he's doing like he's 19 when he's 35 and 40 and 45 and 50 and 55. And here he is 61, and that's what it produced. But me being in prison, knowing that I was a prisoner at war and I had to do what I had to do to survive and keep my body, mind, and soul and spirit intact. I worked out 5 days a week. 11 months a year, fasted every month of Ramadan, and that's how I survive. So when you look at him, and it's not to disrespect him, I just want you to see the two sides of this, so hopefully you choose not to go down that side. And he told like it is, I'm a pop now. Y'all making me relive this. Come on, dog. And watch what he tell Keffe D's lawyer, and then look at Keffe D's face. That's the saddest part. Dog, you're done. None of this looks good.
I'm not proud of that at all. And you asking me questions that can hurt him. And like I told them, I'm trying to avoid to answer the questions that they might look at me and say, something is wrong.
Well, let me put it this way.
Man, you see how gangster it is? He even told the prosecutor, I'm not trying to answer nothing that's going to make him even look like he's guilty. So they said, no, we don't need you to do that. We just need you to tell us about the functions. And that's where the question mark with the ratting come in. But my stance is that everybody already know this anyway. It's on social media. So y'all attack me if you want, but that's what it is, and that's the stance. I don't see what he's doing is ratting. He's begging them not to make him say nothing incriminating. And he's only there because he's a pop don't want to get taken from his kids. Listen to this. And I'm speaking from a grown point of view. But now if I speak from 29-year-old Unique when I got locked up, you know what I mean? Will I really say the same thing? Let me think about that. You know, if he's on the stand. Now, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because I understand some people get forced into certain situations, but it's how they handle it when they're in it. So no, even if he was testifying against me, I wouldn't consider him as ratting. Because it's shit that they already know anyway, so he's not telling them nothing new. You know, I'm just keeping it real, rating it, man, because I respect this dude. I heard about his gangster when I was locked up. I don't know him from a can of paint, but I respect this dude right here. the way he handling this because he's begging them. Listen to this.
Let me help you out with this.
Hey,
So these people right here, what they want to know from you is, did you see who shot Tupac?
I told you no.
Correct.
And that should be the end of it. You're the defense lawyer. What do you care when he never said that your client had anything to do with Tupac? Because he said he didn't see who shot Tupac. So why would you bring it up in the cross-examination? What could he possibly trying to prove on the green face of this earth? Somebody let me know this, please. Put it in the comments. Listen to this, man.
So outside of that question, right? The next question I'm asking you is, when you went back to Compton, was it like a Southside crib shoots a Pyru Blood, and then a Pyru Blood shoots a
See how he
Southside
looking.
crib? Is that the tension that we're talking about?
Look at the way he looked at him like, is you nuts? You know what you asking me? Didn't the government just say that they wasn't going to ask me any specifics? So why the F is you asking me specifics about what the inner operations and running of the organization that you know that he obviously took an oath not to give up, and he's not trying to get this man found guilty. But he's a 62-year-old man saying, man, I'm not going to jail for this crap. My testimony ain't gonna hurt the nigga. They gonna get somebody else to paint the damn picture. But a 29-year-old me said, nah, dog. You know what I mean? I can see him doing it, man. Even at 29, I wouldn't get mad if just being me, I wouldn't get mad if one of the homies went up there and did that. You understand what I'm saying? Would I really gotten mad if one of the homies went up there and did that? But it's not even a homie. You know what I mean? But I'm looking at it if one of my homies just had enough, and here it is, I'm talking about it, and now it's 30 years later. You know what I mean? I say, man, that man done lived his life. I'm not going to pull him into my crap, man. I'm going to eat that. You know what I mean? I can't be mad at nobody that come up there and go up against me 30 years later for something that I done put myself in or got caught up in or actually did. We don't know. But for that alone, anybody get up there trying to save themselves after they've been living a certain way for a certain amount of time, I'll feel like a sucker to take that away from them and tell them to stick by the code. That's just me. Some things you just give a pass. Like he said earlier in one of the testimony, man, you can have that. So y'all can eat this video up if you want. I'm just telling you how it is from old gangster point of view and where I'm at now at 61, 62. I can understand where he said that, but there's some things that stand on principle where, boy, I need to be chopped up. And then you deal with whatever consequences come with that. You know, certain things in certain ways. And right now he's saying he's not ready to go with dealing with consequences, not even the consequences of contempt of court where they lock him up for 60 days, 30 days, or even 90 days. He ain't trying to leave his grandkids. So me as a man sitting on this side that got caught up for something I did 30 years ago, never in my right mind would I expect that man to sit there and be, steadfast to the code. But he's being loyal to me is what I expect. And that means don't bury me while you up there, nigga. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing that he's sitting there telling Keffe D's lawyer, man, I'm not trying to bury this dude. I don't even like him. You know what I mean? I'm here just trying to give them what they want so I can go back to my old simple 61-year-old life. And that's where he's at. So I'm speaking for him as an elder that's there, regardless how youthful I look. But I had no choice. I was preserved, locked in a cell. They limited me what I could eat, what I could buy at the commissary, $275 a month. Nothing but mackerel and fish for 26 years, and rice and vegetables. You know what I mean? And that's why, and I'm older than him. I'm a year older than him. He was born 65, I was born 64. But let's get back to this. Look,
Do I
watch it.
answer this?
That's a straightforward question. It's a yes or no answer.
Okay.
Did you
Look.
see that?
When I was a part of that life, I was a part of that.
Once again.
And I was, no, because you asking something that's gonna hurt this dude. And okay, let me stop.
Look at him. I like
And once
this
again,
dude.
I want to emphasize.
When we got back to Compton,
Okay.
it was a gang war. People were getting hurt.
Okay.
People was being sought. People were looking for certain individuals from his neighborhood,
Yes.
as well they did mine.
Okay.
But Orlando, him and certain other people were being salted because people wanted to kill them.
Sure.
See, right there is where they'll say he's ratting because he's saying that. They already know this. Everybody already know this. So this is just a version they're painting to the jury, and it's up to the jury to believe it or not believe it, and his lawyer's going to paint his own version of what's happening. But these are all conspiracy theories that's been out there. So this is what they're trying to get him to say. This is what they'll try and run on and say that he ratting. But the man telling him, that calm your lawyer down, my nigga. I'm not trying to go down that route. I don't want to bury you. And you know what I mean? And his lawyer's pushing, and he's sitting there letting his lawyer go instead of grabbing his lawyer leash and say, pull back. Right there, he should have got involved with the trial and said something, even if the judge would have reached over and said, you're not allowed to speak to your attorney. Then you tell your attorney, yo, slow down, back up off him, man. He's surviving. That's all Mob James is doing right here. Right now, Mob James, he's an old gangster, ex-gangster, whatever you want to call him, he's surviving. And, you know, I know a lot of people that don't like him. You know what I mean? But I got to call a spade a spade. That's what being a man is about, because I'm on man time. You know, the way he handles this is so proper. Check this out, though, man.
Were they the only ones that they wanted to kill?
Look at Keffe D face, man. Keffe D ain't saying nothing. And y'all tell me if I'm seeing this wrong or not. You know, my commentary on this, you know, please put it in the comment. I could stand a checking. But that's just how I see it from where I stand at my age and what I've been through.
Up in here. No, they weren't the only one. It's his neighborhood in particular.
Right.
But they were the main subjects of a gang war. They was in the middle, such as me.
So you're telling us that people back home somehow had some type of information that said that that guy, as a bunch of other people, were involved in what?
In the murder of Tupac.
Okay, well,
Tell me how any of this helps Keffe D. Please, I beg you, put it in the comments and tell me how any of this helps Keffe D.
Question to you. My question to you.
Stop.
Can you focus on me for?
Yo, did you see that? And look at Keffe D's face. He tell him to stop. He's gonna make me bury you. I don't want to bury you. Please tell him to stop. Mob James is begging Keffe D. Tell your lawyer to stop. Stop already. And he's just sitting there. So you already know I might do a psychological breakdown of my interpretation after 26 years in federal prison of Keffe D and break down what's going through his mind from where I've been when I sat in that place. Would you like that? Put that in the comment, because I'm looking at him. Dude is begging him, man. I ain't never seen nothing like this. I got to show that again, man. I got to show it again. Look at this.
His neighborhood in particular.
Right.
But they were the main subjects of a gang war. They was in the middle, such as me.
So you're telling
He
us
know he
that
talking too
people
much.
back home
That's what's sad.
somehow
Look.
had some type of information that said that that guy, as a bunch of other people, were involved in what?
In the murder of Tupac.
Okay, but my question to you.
Look, like would you leave it alone?
Stop.
Can you focus on me for a second?
Yeah,
Yo, do you see this? Come on, I'm not laughing at him. I'm just laughing at the whole proceeding just look crazy. Like, and look how Keffe D is looking while his life is on the line. And I'm not trying to disrespect Keffe D. I'm just saying, dog, at some point you have to speak up for yourself. Don't wait till you're sitting in a state prison with a letter for a number of your release date to decide to say, let me go do an appeal, because you're too old to make it out on appeal.
And I apologize. I just want to make sure that we're clear, okay, for these people. In terms of that information, none of those people were there, right?
And what people you be speaking on? The people that was already in the neighborhood, or the people that left Las Vegas that same night Tupac was shot to go home, bear their arms, and go to somebody else's neighborhood to look for somebody. They had to pay it back.
So once again, my question to you is that.
And that's why he looking like that. Like, dog, the prosecutor didn't ask me none of this. How did this help Keffe D, me breaking this down to a jury? He's continuing the prosecutor's line of theory of where they're going with the trial. Do you agree or do you disagree? Because the prosecutor said he wasn't going to ask specifics, and then the defense lawyer started asking specifics, and then the witness is telling the defense lawyer, you're asking specifics that I told the prosecutor I wasn't going to ask because they put this man in jail, and even though I don't like this man, I don't want him to go to jail. How much more gangster could you be than that? He's fighting for his principles right now, sitting on that stand. And he's watching what he's saying, and he gets a grade A+ with me with this.
The information that I'm asking about is the people that back home, you're saying were eyewitnesses to this?
How could people back home be eyewitness to something that happened in Vegas? No, that's not what I'm saying.
The people that were here in listen to my question, sir. The people that were here in Las Vegas, you're telling me were eyewitnesses to what happened and went back home. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you, the people that was at 662.
Just answer my question, sir. Yes or no?
I can't
Is it
answer
a
that
yes or no?
without a what you call it. You trying to tell me to say something that you're not going to understand. If you let me explain to you.
No, answer my question.
I'm not answering nothing.
Yo, that's gangster.
I don't know
Tell
what
him.
you're talking about.
And this is the lawyer. You think
Okay,
he was the
so now
prosecutor?
Focus for a second.
No, I am focused. Very.
Focus on this. My question to you is this. You didn't know what happened that night because you weren't there.
I was at 662.
Right. Do you know who was that was there?
I know everybody that was there.
Okay. Like who?
Look,
Talk to your lawyer, man. This
Look.
dude is tripping.
He's telling them, yo, you know he tripping. He asked me to name names now. The prosecutor trying to bury you didn't ask me to name names. And your lawyer's asking me to name names, tell him specifics, tell him how emotions went, things that the prosecutor didn't ask. Somebody put in the comments and somebody, please, God, help me, please, somebody. And yes, I call for God for help because I don't understand this one for the life of me. So somebody show me in the comments the light on this because I don't understand this. He's begging him to get his lawyer under control from asking these questions that he knows is going to be incriminating. Now, how could anybody say that he was ratting when this is what he's sitting here doing? I'm talking about just this sitting on this here, he handled it like a G.
I'm not going to explain that. I can't answer that.
Okay. Let me ask you this next question then. You are telling us that people back in Compton, for some reason, knew what happened here in Las Vegas.
How does
a
that
phone
help
conversation? People found out when people left Las Vegas the same night Tupac was shot, went straight back to Compton. It only takes 3.5 hours to get home.
Sure.
Yes, it wasn't a problem for people to find out what happened. No problem at all.
They got on their phones, they texted people, they let them know what happened here on the night of the shooting.
Yeah. They had walkie-talkies, they had all kind of phones. They had ways to call people to say whatever. But when people left Las Vegas that same night, after they found out and got in their cars and went home because it was a situation, Pac was shot. Retaliation is a mug. Come on, man. Like.
And that's common sense. So who's going to say it? Say, oh, he ratted, it was retaliation. Y'all, you dudes is crazy if you go there.
Did you have a walkie-talkie? A Nextel thing or something like that?
No.
Did Reggie write?
I don't know what he had. I don't know how much money he had in his pocket. I don't know what he had on his hip.
But you were the head of securities, but you're telling us you did not have any type of advice.
Right-way security has nothing to do with the gang-banging security, Parus, whatever you want to call us. They had nothing to do with us.
Okay.
The phones that Suge had for certain individuals, they had the phones. Like the guy that was bodyguard for Tupac that night. Like some of the guys that was at the Tyson fight, like Suge Knight. Certain individuals had phones. Yes, they did.
Okay, so, all right, I get what you're saying. You're not there, but you're saying other people were.
Yes, I'm saying it was.
How does that help his client?
A lot of people were there at the shooting that took place.
That was in the
Everybody knows
entourage.
that.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yo, tell me how this is helping Keffe D. Please, somebody put in the comments. I need
Okay,
help.
just one final question. You're here today, and I think the state had asked this question under a subpoena. You're ordered to be here today, right?
Yes.
In terms of that subpoena, for instance, is that's the only reason why you're here is because of that subpoena?
I don't have no other reason to be here.
Yeah.
Tell him again.
In order for you to get that subpoena, you were served that subpoena back in California
Yes.
by a police officer?
I don't know. He wasn't in uniform.
Okay, and that order required you to go to a court in California?
I had to go to court and evict the bill.
And then that court in California said you have to show up here.
And in that court, I cussed them out and told them, you can't make me do nothing.
Right.
And in that court, they told me that I would be in attempted court. Me raising my grandkids, I'm not going to put my grandkids in the car and move somewhere so y'all can't find me. So all that running and living a different life, I ain't doing it. So I agreed to come. And like I explained to everybody in here, you ask me something, I'm going to be honest about. You ask me something I don't want to talk about, you're going to have a problem. Treat me as a hostile witness. You're not going to talk to me and tell me as a grown man what I have to do up here. I'm not finna send him to prison.
How much more gangster can you get than that? And he already said he don't like him. A mother effing round of applause for that man. Yeah. Round of applause. All right, relax. Round of applause for that, man. Got to give him that.
You are.
See, he just told
So
him
the
that he is. Look at it,
accusation
you gotta hear that,
now
man.
All that running and living a different life, I ain't doing it. So I agreed to come. And like I explained to everybody in here, you ask me something, I'm gonna be honest about. You ask me something I don't want to talk about, you're gonna have a problem. Treat me as a hostile witness. You're not gonna talk to me and tell me as a grown man what I have to do up here. I'm not finna send him to prison. You are.
So the accusation now is because
And look at
of the
Keffe
fact
D
that we're
face.
trying to ask you questions, you're blaming it on me.
You asking me questions. If I just like answer your questions, we gonna have a problem in here, a misunderstanding. And you're asking me something that wouldn't be good for him.
Right. And once again, I just want to, look, we're just trying to figure out who shot Tupac. You're telling us that you weren't there.
No, he's supposed to be trying to defend you.
At the end of the day, that's it, right?
Was I in the entourage when Tupac got shot? No.
Okay. Nothing else, right?
I was at 62. I mean, that ain't hard. That's easy math.
No further questions, John.
Anything further, State?
Jesus.
All right, we've got one more phase, and then we'll let you out of here.
Okay.
Yo, tell me
Ladies
this
and
ain't
gentlemen of the jury,
crazy.
any questions for this witness? Seeing no hands, oh, we do have one. Okay, hang on 1 second.
Jury got a question. Sit back, listen. All right, well, I want to thank y'all for coming. You really appreciate it, and I want to show you why I do what I do.
Hey, what's going on, man? Murder Mook, Harlem, you know what it is, man. I just want to express how much gratitude I got for Unique. You know what I mean? I was telling him a story, telling him how I felt about, if anything was to go wrong with my career, rap-wise, if, should be slow, and I got so many opportunities to be able to do the wrong shit. When I watch Unique Mecca audio, I feel it, and to my soul, and that's keeping me farthest away from doing anything criminal. Anything criminal. He made me think straight, honestly. Made me think straight, because I've been watching him for about a year, like a year now, maybe, and it just took my mind way off of that. From a year ago, it got rough. For a year ago,
Yeah.
and from watching this man, I just felt like you saved me. You saved me. And I just want to show my gratitude, and I want to say thank you, man. Unique Mecca Audio, anything you need, brother, from me.
All right.
Anything you need, man.
All
Call
right.
him.
I'm like, oh my God, is that him? I'm all fanned out. Like, it was such an experience getting the chance to meet him and, being a fan of his YouTube channel and just following him for the last 2 years and knowing his story and seeing his interviews. And I support him 1,000%. And I'm subscribed to his YouTube. You should go and subscribe as well. Amazing.
What you got from the channel?
History, how hard it is to be in jail, the right and wrong moves to make when you outside, how one wrong move will cost you a whole lot, to be better, to do better. A lot of stuff. You'll get a lot of stuff from his channel. You know, it's very informal, and you know, whatever that means to you, you'll definitely take a piece with you. Like this is a good YouTube channel, honestly.
Tell them who you on, where they can find you.
Okay, I'm Cora. You can find me at Instagram on Why Hate on Her, and yeah.
Here with the OGs, you already know. Unique Mecca Audio. If you ain't tapped into Unique Mecca Audio, I don't know what you tapped into. I'm talking about real streets. I'm talking about real entertainment. I'm talking about real YouTubing, real getting to that bag. But I'm talking about a real OG that changed their life, yo. I changed my life the same way. And real OGs like that push me further to change my life. You hear me? Come look. Look what's going on out here. This Harlem. I'm a Brooklyn boy. So I only tap in with OGs like Mecca, man. Because I'm telling you, if you're not tapped into Unique Mecca Audio, I don't know what you're doing, man. Show them the scene, OG. They playing themselves. Congratulations, you played yourself.
What's going on, people? What's going on, man? You got your boy Lodestone out here in Harlem. I'm from the BX. I'm with Unique Mecca Audio. You know what I'm saying? It's a good vibe with the OG. I advise everybody, if you want to hear real spill, real shit, no cap, tune in and hear what the OG got to say, man. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna give y'all the truth, man. He gonna give you that real shit, man.
Let's go. Hey, yo, tune in to Mecca Audio, man. Unique, man. Listen, man. I'm a young OG. I knew him since I was young. I used to be in Mecca Audio Studios. Great, man. I'm Ra from Tupac Against the World album. You can check my credentials. This is a good man, real man. Mecca Audio. I've been on this, man, since I was a little young lad, man. Before Tupac album, before I even did the outlaw shit and all that, man. Holla at me, man. And tune in to Mecca Audio Unique, man. Holla at us, man. You know.
What's good, y'all? This New York Chuck. Yeah, and this Erupt One. Yo, you know, we just here, we out here in Harlem, you know what I'm saying? We out here, you know, rock birthday party. You know, but this party right here brought out a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And one of the people that this party brought out was like a cornerstone in Harlem, like, you know, I'm talking about with the music, getting money, doing all, and, you know, actually, like a lot of us, we took a page out of his book, you know, to get where we became in life, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna shout my guy out. Shout out to Unique Mecca Audio. You know what I'm saying? He bring y'all real street knowledge. He got all the gangsters on his pod. We Harlem, we the streets. You know what I'm saying? Tune in to Mecca Audio TV, man.
No
on
doubt,
YouTube.
no doubt.
On God, yo. One love for Unique, man. We love
Shout
you,
out
bro.
to Harlem. Shout out to Jersey.
I just want to give a shout out to Unique Mecca Audio. He is so dope. I had the experience of actually meeting him in person. I've been a fan for 2 years, watching his story and watching his videos on YouTube. He is the bomb.com. Harlem legendary kingpin, real official. As soon as I sat down by him, I knew like it was like a different energy, a different vibe. But then once I hear his voice, I'm like, oh my God, is that him? I'm all fanned out. Like, you know, it was such an experience getting the chance to meet him and, you know, being a fan of his YouTube channel and just following him for the last 2 years and knowing his story and seeing his interviews. And I support him 1000%. And I'm subscribed to his YouTube. You should go and subscribe as well. Amazing, amazing.
Cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the